Hi, and welcome to this new tutorial. After a little bit of time, I was busy with preparing my live set for Frankfurt and a little bit of vacancy, so I'm back with this tutorial, and today I want to show you a method to mastering your tracks directly into the OCTATRACK. So pay attention, this is not a true and proper master. We have a lot of tools inside the OCTATRACK to make our tracks better, but mastering, a proper mastering, it's another story and needs other tools. First thing first, you have to load, and I load into track 1 into a setting machine a track, your entire track, and you have to slice. No matter how much slice you want, the crucial part is to slice because we have access to the main part easily, to the main part of the song. That is our reference for using effects. Remember, you have to turn loop on and slice on, and in the attribute you can set the quantized trig, so also the loop, so it's always on time. Now, my main part is there. This is a non-master version of the of one of my track, and let's start with the effects. We will work basically only with the effects session, slots on the tracks. On the track 1. I put down a filter and a lo-fi processor. So, filter. I use that filter to basically roll off a little bit the low end. And remember to turn off the Q, we don't need that. Maybe roll off also a little bit of the higher frequencies. It's a little bit more narrowed and it's more focused. It's truly important to take off a little bit of the low frequencies, especially for phasing issues and stuff like that. So then a little bit of saturation. Don't overdo that, of course, because it will end adding a distortion. We don't want to add a distortion, but gently saturate all the transients, all the materials. Is a little bit it's a little bit like using a proper saturator on your DAW that brings out all the harmonic content that is hidden into the informations. We can also use the filter distortion that is really cool. This is a little bit more gentle distortion than the lo-fi one, and we can use a combination of both, and I find it works really well. As you can hear, we have already bring out some of the content, especially in the mid frequencies. Now, track 2, 3 and 4 are neighborhood, so the audio is posting through. Remember to always keep the level at maximum. And this is an EQ, a pair of EQ, because FX1 is an EQ and FX2 is an EQ for more technical purposes. So we are looking for specific frequencies to gently bring out or tame. It depends, and now I show you. Now let's start the bass part. So I think we need a little bit more bite on the low frequencies around the kick. So we have the frequencies, the gain and the Q, pretty much regular stuff. No need to touch these parameters. And we are looking for maybe a frequency to bring a little bit up on the lower part. So we generously bring up the gain to clearly hear the frequencies. Now we are narrowing the Q to be more precise. Okay, here more or less here we have the fundamental of the kick and the sub basses, so we can bring a little bit more down the gain, because this is without, and we are adding that. Maybe we can low down also a little bit the Q, so it's a little bit broader. Yeah. All right. Now for the second frequencies, I wanna bring out some of the low mid frequencies that are really annoying. Same process. Yeah. This is boxy, so we don't want that. All right. Now, the second page of our equalizer. Same thing, we are looking for, maybe we are in the mid frequencies, and that range is a really boxy range, so we want to take rid of that too. I leave that broader. Now it's more focused and clean. And the last frequency, maybe we can add a little bit of high frequency. Maybe on the, we are looking for good frequencies for the hi-hat. A little bit more precise. This way we can really isolate the frequency we want to take down or bring up. Not too much. Yeah, perfect. Third page. So a little bit of a recap. On the first track we have a filter to shelf a little bit of the low end and the high end, and a little bit of distortion coming from the filter, and a little bit of distortion coming from the lo-fi processor. Track 2, EQ, they are technical EQ, so we have precisely choose certain frequencies to bring or tame. third page. Now, compression. Compressor is the most important tool for mixing and mastering in general. And being able to really use properly a compressor is a crucial part of the knowledge. So I want to use this compressor. I don't go through how to use a compressor and what is a compressor. So YouTube is plenty of tutorial about that. So I assume you know how to use a compressor. I want to use this compressor for the parallel compression. So I want it to be very hard. And first thing first, ratio, we can go pretty high, maybe at 50. Then we start to hear the compression, and I want bring down the release and maybe a little bit of attack. More, so the transient will pass through and hit and bite more. Then we can recompensate again and mix the dry signal with the compressed signal, so we can go a little bit more further, maybe. Hear how the bass is reacting differently, and as I low down the release, it has this pumping effect that I want. Pay attention to the release and on the bass. Here is pretty much regular on its dynamics. One. And now react a little bit more on the compressor and start to pump, which is the effect I'm looking for that. Play a little bit with the parameter attack and release to really find the exact position you want. Yeah. All right. Here is where you choose if the compressor works in a peak or a RMS. In this case I want RMS because I want to precisely catch the dynamics. Now, a little bit of a maybe strange thing for a mastering, but I tend to use in a DAW also on my master track a reverb, and usually I use a room simulation where I can choose a different microphone and pan that, because this gives or at my track a little bit of deep and space. I put down on track 3 and on track 4 the same reverb, and it's dark reverb. Basically, I want to pan one on the left, and I give a little bit of pre-more and send, and same thing for that. I think it's 5. Yes, it's 5, and this one on the right, send. Now, I want to roll off a lot of the low end and a little bit of the high end, and maybe concentrate the frequency on the mid part. Yeah. Now I copy that, paste that, and okay. Now I can lower down the mix and bring back a little bit, just a touch. All right, now is spacey here without and with. It's really subtle, but gives you that kind of space and opens up a little bit the stereo image. So we have a wider image. That is always important. And by shelving the low frequencies, we don't have any problem with phase and stuff like that. So the mono compatibility is there. Now, last effects is another EQ. This time it's a DJ equalizer, because I use this for a little bit of a retouch the tonal stuff of the track. So I wanna a little bit more on the sub. Yeah, there. I bring down a little bit of mid frequencies. Remember, this is a DJ equalizer, so it has broader band. So be gentle and maybe yeah. All right. And basically, this is your master chain. We can also use a track to use external processor. So we have to cue the track, and then the audio came back to the input. So you basically exit from the cue out, and by queuing the track, you are sending to your processor, your external processor, the audio. The audio came back to the input. You have to set, of course, a trig, a listening trig, because the track is on through, and it depends. You can use the A, B, or C and D, and basically you can blend your original track with the affected track by your external hardware. I don't have right now here any external hardware to show you that process, but it's pretty straightforward, and of course also on that there's plenty of tutorial on YouTube on how to use properly Q and stuff like that. Another thing we can do is to set a kind of a oscilloscope, because we don't have any reference on what is going on the volume and dBs side of things, because we don't have any information about that. But we can kind of guess that by using a track and set to the recording buffer. Then we are going to set on main. This is set yet, but you are going to set on main. So the track is recording the main output with all the effects and all the stuff is going on. 64 step, it's fine. This is not important because we are not listening what is going on there. And of course we have to bring down the volume because we don't want to hear. This is our oscilloscope. And then you have to set your recording tricks. Maybe we have to first thing first, okay? Record the track. And this basically gives you the cue on what is going on about volume. And if I, for example, bring up this gain, and you see you start to blink a little bit red, then record, the waveform is changing. Of course, you can always lower set and set a custom recording trick. So you don't have to arm, but it's constantly recording, and you have the view of what's going on at a glance. So we can bring up a little bit this. Yeah, cool. So you can watch a little bit of your levels like that. So it's an empirical method, of course, but as I said, this is not a proper mastering. It's how you can make your track better, sound better inside the OCTATRACK. Last thing, the master track. Track 8 is set on master, and I put a compressor and a spatializer. Starting from the spatializer, it's a really cool tool inside the OCTATRACK. It's one of the tools that you don't expect to find into a sampler, and basically it's a mid-side processor, and this is really cool. So how we can use this? We have to activate the mid side, and now we have control to the mid part of the frequency spectrum and the side part of the frequency spectrum. The mid side usually is the part that contains all the lower and mid-low frequencies, and the side part are the part that are mid-high and high frequencies. But we have now the chance to work independently the mid and the side part. Alright? This is only the mid and this is only the side. So, leaving the mid as it is, but I want a little bit more on the side, you start to hear that the stereo image is opening up. Listen again. This is basically mono. This is normal. Hear how much you are opening up stereo image. Now, this is a processor based on the delays, and of course this can bring us a little bit of problem phase side. How can we avoid this kind of problems? It's pretty easy. We have a shelf here, so now the spatializer and the delay line isn't affecting the low part of the frequencies. We can, of course, hear the effect by using the send, and with this we are hearing only the effect. So we can precisely work, hear the delay, you can clearly hear the delay lines, of course, and now we have to bring this up to shelve the low content, maybe also that we don't want the depth as high. Now we can mix. All right. We are simply telling to the processor that the delay line depth is very low, the width is pretty high, so we can hear more on that opening up of the stereo image. The send also is pretty high, and the filter, especially the HP filter, is crucial to maintain and don't have phase problems. Last plugin is a general compressor, and as opposed of this compressor that is really hard and works in parallel, this will work on the whole track, on the whole audio, but in a more gentle way. And we want to have a little bit of a more equal dynamics, so we switch to RMS because it looks on the overall dynamics and it doesn't catch precisely the peak. You have to hear where the compressor starts working and is pretty much there. attention, if I lower the release, the track is bouncing more, and if I raise up the release, it's more fixed. Maybe a midway. Yeah. Now we have to compensate. All right. And this is it. As you can see, it's nothing too difficult to do. But if you want to download the template, you can download for free on my Gumroad page. So you can experiment, maybe change the effects where you need, using the Q method for the external instrument and stuff like external hardware and stuff like that. This is basically a starting point for making your track better. The last thing you have to do is simply to put one entire slice on the whole track and the plate and record the track on your recorder or a DAW or what you want, or use the play free track method as you want. This is up to you. This is only for recording the entire song, entire mastered song on a recorder or a DAW. So download this this project from my Gumroad page. I leave you the link on the description, and I hope this tutorial will be useful for you. And see you next time. And thank you as always. Bye bye.